Welcome back to the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Ruthie Gray, and I'm excited because my book is launching in 3 weeks. The book will come out October 17th, and we are already gathering a launch team, a small but mighty army of women of faith who are excited to read through the book ahead of time. If you would like to be on the launch team and get a digital copy right away so that you can read through it already and start giving us feedback, join the launch team, get some goodies and some prizes and insider information about the book launch and some lives from me in a private Facebook group. I would love for you to check that out. You can reach out to me personally or DM the word book on Instagram, and I can give you the information. It's also on my link in bio. I would be happy for you to join me. If you don't have time to be on the launch team, that's okay. You can still sign up and get pre-order bonuses right away when you pre-order the book on AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com/book. Go check it out. You can get hard copies or Kindle. It's all available. Empty Nest Awakening, Weaving the Threads of Your Passions into Purpose, is my story. I was hit with empty nest grief. I didn't expect it to come on. If you've been through it, maybe you've experienced that or something similar, or maybe you are wondering how you're going to feel as your kids start leaving the nest. I had 4. And it was fine after the first one left. I still had 3 at home, but then my middle 2 left at once. And all of a sudden, I just found myself at a loss. And that's kind of it is what my book is about. And it's about how I was able to figure out what to do in the next season. And that all was not lost. And God still had a purpose for me. You see, motherhood was my biggest, highest goal. I wanted to rear my kids to adulthood, to confidence, and to embrace our family values and succeed in society, to be independent. And I did that. But then again, there was the sense of loss that I didn't expect. Although I was excited for them, I was just lost. So instead of you wondering how to do it or if there's a pattern, I want to give you one. Go ahead and pre-order the book and get some fantastic pre-launch bonuses, an inside chapter, and the journaling guide that goes with it that kind of helps you work through it before you get all of the chapters and all of the information through the book. So head to the show notes or to AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com/book, and you'll be able to pre-order right there too. Something that is highly underrated is consistency, and that's what we want to talk about today. I kind of went on a rant inside my membership talking about consistency. Consistency is what brought me to the speaker status that I enjoy today, to speak at summits or online retreats or in-person conferences. Consistency is what is bringing my launch team and my book purchasers. Because once I announced that my book was going to be ready, that I would love to have you help me launch, people leapt at the opportunity. I have been blown away that women are rallying around me to help me launch this book and to support me in my endeavors. And I want to talk in an upcoming episode about what I did to foster that trust. But today I'm going to give you just a little glimpse of it, and it's called consistency. Because I've shown up week in and week out for weeks and months and years, not just promoting my products. That's only part of it. The giant part is actually giving to your audience. kind of like a rope that you let out a little bit at a time, you are delivering value and tidbits about your area of expertise and even advice as far as mindset, how to break through the barriers that keep you back. And when you do that, if it's consistent, people start to sit up and notice, and they realize that you have confidence in your message, and you are someone that is probably someone that they can trust. In order to market your message, you have to get consistent. And the best way to do that is by building your own community on your platform and by getting in a community. So these are two completely different things. And I want to talk about these for just a second. I would advise you to first get in a community that can support you in your platforming endeavors. This is what we do inside Authentic Online Marketing School. This is what we do inside my Insider Mentorship, is we provide the tools and a cohort to help you establish your message and your platform and the tools to grow it. Community grows opportunity. You'll hear me say that a lot. You'll hear that in my book. This is where you will forge connections and build relational trust and business referrals. And I'm transitioning now out of the community you're a part of and into the community that you want to build. So my first community that I built with my very first opt-in years ago, it was called My Top 10 Tips for Rearing a Confident Young Man. And I put all the data together and all the observances from raising a boy to adulthood. I had a parenting site at the time, and people actually wanted this opt-in. And this community that I grew with this opt-in, this lead magnet, if you will, for my newsletter, it forged connections, built trust, and it grew not only clients, but business connections. Faithfulness to your calling is key. And when people realize you do what you say and you excel at what you do, you earn their trust. This is where it all comes down to consistency, and consistency is where I find myself today, not because of a giant following. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. I have clients that do. At least they have tens of thousands. But I have a small engaged list. And today you're going to hear how to build your own community that is supportive and receptive of your message. It's by consistency. And now, listen in.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
We have a saying here that community grows opportunity, and we've already seen that in the testimonies that we've had just with you, and this isn't even the whole group. And that's what it's all about, is networking and being willing to get outside your comfort zone and talk to people and promote their stuff too. That's how you develop peace and goodwill, and just really good relationships. Something that I try to get across to people is that I'm not going to promise you the moon. I'm going to give you the tools for getting started and being consistent. Because the thing is, consistency goes way farther than just about anything else you do. If you're not consistent, people lose trust in you. They lose faith in you if you're not consistent online, if you're not consistent with your social, and if you're not consistent with your email. They begin to lose faith. So even though what you do is you decide, what can I do reasonably, feasibly in this stage, in this quarter? Is it post 3 times a week? Is it post 2 times a week? Is it like Donna, post once a week? At least she's doing it. And I can't stress this enough because y'all know I don't have a giant following. I have, I think, about 4,500 followers. For the most part, they're a super engaged group, and you can sell to a small list if they're super engaged. And yes, every day I get on there and I block the weirdos that have followed me. Because when you have people that are dead weight, that are your followers, then they're not really going to engage with you except to pester you. And that's not what you need. You need a truly engaged following who want what you have to offer. So if they come and check out your profile and your profile succinctly says, this is what I do for you, your profile's about them, and they stick with you, then you're going to know, hey, these are my people. And that's what you want. But consistency also grows opportunity. I've been reached out to by 2 different people who were just lurking on my page. They were just lurking there, but they were watching me because of my name. That's another really good use of a brand name, Authentic Online Marketing Pod. And so that's an example of your brand name needs to kind of state, what are you doing? Unless you're like an author. And then that a lot of times it's just going to be that's going to be your username. But they started following me and watching me. And I got 2 in-person events to speak at because of that this year. And the one was the entrepreneurial retreat at Trinity in Pensacola, Florida, that I met Frances at. She was able to, I think you just drove, right?
Cool.
You were able to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other is in Chattanooga. I'm speaking next weekend on the 16th. It's a one-day conference for Market Refined Media. And they serve all types of Christian creatives, speakers, writers, authors. They have all kinds of services. They're actually publishing my book. They're the ones that did the cover and all that. But I didn't. Here's the thing. When you know that you're doing the purposes that the Lord has for you and you're staying in your lane, like I knew my lane was to write the book this year, and I really struggled. Some of you have heard my testimony of how I struggled to rein myself in and get back on track. But at every juncture, God sent me who I needed for that time. And I knew that I didn't want to format the book. I didn't want to create the book cover. I didn't want to do any of that because I already have a business. And I don't have time for that. And I'm not good at it. And the Lord brought Mandy Robertson, who asked me to speak at her conference. And I was like, wait, you guys do all of this. And so it became this beautiful relationship. And the book is coming out in October, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be exactly what I wanted. So you just never know. But the consistency, like I said, I might have a small number, but they're a mighty number, and people are watching me. People are watching you if you're consistent.
You know, at the end there, when I mentioned Mandy Robertson of Market Refined Media, she's the person, actually, she's one of the 2 people that reached out to me that had been watching me, lurking even on my account. And when she asked me to speak at her conference, I was blown away because she was not on my radar. But I was on hers because of consistency. I was writing a book, stepping back a little bit from posting. I wasn't completely going away. And I think this is where most writers and creatives, this is the disconnect. You have a project, and so you realize you need your platform, but your project has to get done. And so you step away. There are ways to continue to post on your platform, which, by the way, if you'll go back and listen to my episode, it's a recent one. I think it's 2 episodes back about 7 tools for entrepreneurs. You will hear how I was able to maintain consistency on Instagram and even Facebook, even though I was enmeshed in writing a book. And honestly, you guys, again, like I said, consistency is highly underrated because you think, Well, no one's going to miss me posting, but yes, they will. Here's the thing. Not everyone sees everything you post or every email you send. If you're going to do a launch email, be all in. Don't waste your time on just one. Studies show people need to see that email or that launch product, wherever it is, on social or wherever, at least 7 times before they even start thinking that it might be for them. You see, I appreciate people who stay focused and continue sending me emails about their launch because it takes me a long time to decide. And these people that get to stay on my email list and receive the benefit of my trust are the ones that regularly send me emails anyway, regardless of whether I purchase their thing or not. They don't just email during a launch. They email consistently. Consistency is key. Consistency earns trust. Inconsistency breeds distrust and, dare I say, contempt. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Be content to stay in your lane and be consistent. If you're finding that your email list isn't growing, or that your social media platform is not growing, honestly ask yourself this question. Am I consistently sending emails? Or am I only sending them during a launch? Or am I kind of sporadic and then I die off because I don't know what to send? Or I find something else that I need to do? If you have a blog or a podcast, or you're a speaker and you want to book speaking engagements, or you have a book, you have to get it out somehow. You have to get out the message, and consistency is the key to getting that out. A couple of years ago, we did a survey. It's actually an ongoing survey in my free Facebook group. As people join, it's called Authentic Instagram Engagement. 9 times out of 10, people answer this question. The question is, what is your biggest hang up with Instagram? And they'll say inconsistency. I even created a free opt-in on how to get consistent. It's my Instagram growth kit. I did a masterclass on it. I gave it away for free. And yet I still hear this drawback for people. It's inconsistency. See, here's the thing. A lot of times you don't really believe in yourself, or you don't believe that anybody's listening or watching. So you just kind of fall off the radar and decide, I'm not going to be consistent. Being consistent can make a significant impact on your online presence. It builds trust, and it ultimately leads to incredible opportunities like getting asked to speak or people volunteering to be on your launch team. Engage with your audience. Building a small but engaged following is far more impactful than having a large, inactive one. Trust me, there are people that have tens of thousands of followers, but zero engagement because they don't invest the time to make the connections and talk with their people. You must do that. Answer your comments. Talk to people in the DM, do polls in stories, use engagement stickers, and then follow up on people's answers. That's how you build strong community. Take the time to connect with your followers, remove any dead weight like the weirdos, block them, block and bless, and focus on building a community of individuals who truly resonate with your message. And finally, your brand name matters. I touched on this, but your brand name should reflect what you do and offer. Like your username, it provides potential followers with a clear understanding of what they can expect from your content. Choose a name that aligns with your purpose and helps attract your target audience. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this episode. And also, please don't forget to go to AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com/book and check out Empty Nest Awakening, weaving the threads of your passions into purpose. See if it's for you. You can purchase it. It will not be delivered until October 17th. You can get a digital copy or you can get
a hard copy. That's what's exciting. Plus the pre-launch bonuses once you enter your information after purchase. All right, y'all. Until next week, when we'll talk more about the book and marketing. Be sure to share your message your way in your own authentic voice and check out the book.